Hi everyone, welcome to Apex Labs. In this video, we will learn about resource absence. So, what are resource absence? Resource absence are records which are created in Salesforce to define that resources will not be available between this time period. So, in absence object, we have fields which state start time and end time, which defines that the resources will not be available during this time period. That is what the resource absence holds in Salesforce. We will also understand how it impacts scheduling. So for that, let's try to understand the data model or the data configuration that I have set up in this org. So we created a service resource with name field service resource, and in its related list, you will find an object called absence. So these are the resource absence records which defines that resources will not be available during this period. So that is how it works. And also let's try to understand how the territories are configured in the system. So let's go to the service territory. Yeah, the service territories which I created is San Francisco with operating hours specific daylight time, and you can see that there is only one territory member here. For simplicity, we are just taking an example of having one territory member for this particular territory, and that is our resource, that is the field service resource. Now, let us try to see how the resource absence impacts the scheduling as well. So, we'll go to the work order which is tied to a territory, that is San Francisco. So let's see an example with a work order. We have a work order which is attached to this particular territory named San Francisco, and in that San Francisco we have our resource, that is the field service resource. As of now, there are no resource absence records in the system. So in that case, let's see how scheduling works. So I'll click on create a new service appointment for this work order, and then I'll try to get slots here. So let's see the results which we get as slots available, and the appointment will be assigned to our resource because of the fact that that particular territory, that is San Francisco, has just one resource, and that is the resource which I just showed you. So let's try to see what are the slots which is being returned by Salesforce in order to create a new appointment. You could see that May 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 27th, 28th, etc. we are getting as slots. Okay, so you could see that we are getting slots between 23rd to 28th quite easily. Okay, so 22nd is there, 23rd is there, 24th, 27th, 28th. So definitely a lot number of slots are there. But let us suppose our service resource made a call to us and told or informed us via email that he won't be available for say 2-3 days or 3-4 days for a week. Then and suppose he says that the resource says that he will not be available between 23rd to 27th, something like that. He says that he will not be available between this time period to take up any new work. Then what he can do is that he can create a new new resource absence record, or even his manager can create a resource absence record on his behalf. So in order to create a resource absence record, we should go to the service resource and then click on the related list, and then let's go to the absences, and here we can create one new entry for absence. The record type I'll select is none availability. I'll click on next, and the type I'll select as vacation. Let us suppose our resource is not available between say 24th to, let us suppose we say it as 24 to 26. Let's make him let's consider that between 23rd to 26th he is not available. So now I'll select the start time and end time, say from 12 a.m. of 23rd to till night 11:45 p.m. of 26th he is not available. So now we will just save this record. and then a new resource absence record will be created in the system. Yeah, so a new resource absence with R8-0031 has been created, and you can see that it's not approved yet. So if we go to the dispatch console, let me refresh the dispatch console so that we could have the visibility of the availability of resources for our territory. So let's have refresh this dispatch console, and we will also see the impact of this approved checkbox. So as per, since in the field service settings we have established that approval is required, I'll also show that settings. That's why, since it has not been approved, so it will not be available on the dispatch console. So let's go to 23rd, 24th, 25th, 27th. So you could see that slots are still means he's available to work on 23rd, 24th, etc. dates. But now let's try to approve his leave request. That is our resource leave request. So we will just click on it and approve it. So now once we have approved it, then there should be a difference which we should be able to see on the dispatch console. Let's wait for some time. So we have defined that between 22nd to 26th he will not be available. So yeah, now you could see once we approve it, it turned into gray color, and this defines that, or this signifies that the resource is not available between this time slots or this time period. So you could see that we have a clear indication of vacation during this period as when we approved the resource absence record. So now let's see what is the difference on the scheduling. Here in one tab it is the previous values, where we could see that the slots are available between 22nd to 27, 28, all these dates are available. Okay, now let me try to refresh the page, and then I'll try to get new slots to see what is the difference in the number of slots which we are able to get for this service appointment or the new appointment we are creating. So now you could see that obviously the slots have reduced. We are getting just one slot for 22nd, and for 27th and 28th only we are getting any slot. Between 22nd to 27th there are no slots. However, here you could see that we are getting greater number of slots, that is 23rd, 24th and 27th as well. However, here you can see that we are getting only between 22nd and 27th there is one slot available. However, here you could see that we have slots on 24th and 23rd as well. However, once we approved the resource absence, the slots for 23rd and 24th are not appearing. This is because of the fact that Salesforce considers that the resource is not available between that time period, and that's why system is not getting any slots for the resource. So this is how the resource absence works in field service. So if in an org resources want not to be available between some time period, or they want to have some vacation, they can just go and create on resource absence, and they can create resource absence record with start time and end time to define the period where they will not be available to take up any new work. And then it can go to an approval process, or it can be approved. Once it's approved, then Salesforce or the scheduling engine will not get any slot during that time period where he has or she has applied the leaves. This is how resource absence works. And in order to make that approval necessary, that is, if you have created a resource absence, it will not block the calendar. I mean, it will resource, in order for field service not to schedule appointment during that time period, it's important that approved checkbox should be true, and this is enforced with the help of field service settings. Let me just show you. Yeah, so here when you go to the field service settings, in the scheduling section you will have this checkbox, activate approval confirmation on resource absence. So if this is checked, then the absences will only be applicable if the resource absence has that checkbox marked as true. If the resource absence record does not have the checkbox as true, that is the approved checkbox, then still then Salesforce will be able to get slots for that resource in spite of the fact that the resource absence record has been created. So until this checkbox is true at the field service settings level, it enforces that the resource absence record should have that checkbox true. Then only it will be considered as an absence by Salesforce. Else, sales system will automatically schedule even it at that time period. So that's why this is the importance of this particular checkbox in field service settings. So that's all in today's video. Here we learned about the resource absence. If you like this video, do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.